All right, welcome back to Save America, Vote Tulsi Gabbard. I'm Dave. This is our channel. This is your channel, my channel, Tulsi's channel. Let's listen to a little video spot that Tulsi did as she continues just to be relentless as far as tackling the tough issues. She's a hard preacher. I like it. Let's listen.
Representative Omar's concern is legitimate. It is wrong for the president to try to foment fear of an entire group of people based on their religion, in this case Islam, because of the actions of a handful of people who claim to be of that religion. If a Christian or a Hindu does something that's bad, it doesn't mean that all Christians or Hindus are bad. If a Muslim does something bad, it doesn't mean that all Muslims are bad. To conclude otherwise is religious bigotry, and it must be condemned. Now, the point that Congresswoman Omar was making is that she and other Muslims around the country have felt under siege because of bigotry against all Muslims, based on the actions of a few who claim to be Muslim. This is not a difficult concept to grasp.
That last line is where I think Tulsi Gabbard hit a home run. This is not a difficult concept to grasp. Even George W. Bush kind of got this, although Bush then went and bombed a bunch of countries where some of the people were very peaceful Muslims in order to maybe eradicate some who weren't, but really an ill-conceived war, especially in Iraq. And that's separate from this. This is like condemning the Congresswoman for saying that the way she worded it, I don't think she should apologize because she said some people, meaning some people, knocked the buildings down. And then I think the New York Post ran with an article or a front page, some people, huh? And then showed the buildings coming down. And that's just real shoddy journalism. That's using something she said, a little snippet. And what she was saying is some people who supposedly represented the faith and religion that I believe in did this. And so you can't condemn everybody in that group. Now, it's been tough for Americans to separate because everybody along the way has continued this narrative. Even Obama, to some degree, I know he tamped down a little bit. And as soon as he did, everybody thought he was, a Muslim sympathizer or terrorist sympathizer, I should say. And I apologize again, because it's a very narrow group of people who claim that this is the right version of Islam. And this is the thing that's driving a lot of people crazy, is that there's, as she said there, it's not a difficult concept to understand. So here's my question. And this is the real crux of this video. Anyone else on the political scene today, if they had said this and did a video spot where you could play this video, you can put this on NBC, this is good quality video, it's a Tulsi campaign spot basically. Tulsi's been doing these all along. This one's only, what, 1 minute and 11 seconds long. Why hasn't this generated some controversy for her? Think of it this way. Tulsi was smart to do this video because she's flying right into the bleep storm, and the bleep should go and hit the fan at that point. You know what I'm saying? And it would certainly get people to pay attention to her campaign. But the media would rather not even, and this is right in their wheelhouse. What did you say? Why did you say? I mean, Fox News should have had her on by now like 5 times. I mean, all the media outlets across the spectrum should have just stopped what they were doing and said, did you hear what Tulsi Gabbard said? Oh, we need to call her. We need to get her on the air. Nope. So far, nope. Now, it may change in the days ahead. I mean, this came out, let me see here. This came out sometime yesterday. All right, so Sunday was a busy day for Tulsi as she's doing spots and uploading them to YouTube. This one has only 4,000 views on it, okay? It's not a popular, although she's got way more likes than dislikes, it's not like getting tens of thousands of views and everybody just going crazy watching it, because this is an uncomfortable truth She's actually using kind of a nuanced approach to the issue. But this is here's my big reasoning for as to why. They don't want Tulsi Gabbard gaining any traction in the polls. They don't want people from the center left or just anybody, even on the right, who understands this issue and thinks that this is nothing more than political theater for Trump. They don't want anybody discovering Tulsi Gabbard, because they might start digging in and seeing, wow, this woman would be an incredible president. Just the video alone, every time she cuts a spot like this, you think to yourself, she's just such a pro. And she's not a fake either. She's not a teleprompter reader. She knows what she's going to say. She probably has a few bullet points. She probably writes them down. And even if they do feed them into a prompter, these are all points that she has laid out during interviews. And she's just as cogent in these interviews as she is here during this particular spot. It's an incredible conspiracy right now, much like Bernie Sanders not talking about Julian Assange. I think that's I don't want to call that a conspiracy. It's just kind of mind-blowing that he's not saying anything. And he should. He just address it. Free speech. See, when you get involved with these media-driven narratives like Russiagate, and now this was a media-driven narrative that Omar was minimizing 9/11 and just some people did this, and that's not what she was saying. And Tulsi here calls it out and calls out the media. Now, the media, rather than responding to Tulsi Gabbard, ignores Tulsi Gabbard, because there's enough time that's gone by since this spot dropped where the media could have examined this, played it. You know, she was on with Jake Tapper the other day. Jake Tapper didn't have anything to say rebutting the things that she was saying. Chris Matthews even agreed with what she was saying to some degree, like, why do smart presidents do stupid things or something like that. And he's going through his list of great neocons, you know, on the wall of Chris Matthews' home, you know, the thrill up the leg and all that stuff. Just, the guy's a tool. He's a tool of the establishment. Really an untrustworthy person who just, the wind blows and he goes in that direction. He's looking for like he's going to probably support Beto O'Rourke. That would be my guess. You know, well, because he's just like JFK. It's just sad. But this, I think, should have, and Tulsi knew this, by the way, this should have launched her candidacy into the stratosphere. Because, again, people would discover her, they'd dig into what she believes, they'd listen to her making sense. By the way, are you going to go up against this if you're Donald Trump in a general election and win? No, you're not. You're not, because she's on the fly. She's reasoned. She doesn't need the teleprompter. She doesn't sound like a jackass when she's trying to formulate an idea or get through a sentence. It's true. And the military service, she's got a face for TV on top of it. And that's my nice way of saying that she's an attractive woman. All of these things going against Donald Trump would just, the candidacy would be like, what are they going to do? They're going to say she's a crazy liberal, she's a libtard, she's a socialist, she's a progressive, she's all these things. It wouldn't stick. It just wouldn't stick, because when you hear Tulsi talk, you hear her heart. But you also hear reasoning, critical thinking. The skill set here is off the charts. And this video proves that she's not afraid. She's not afraid. And all of you people that are worried about, you know, Omar, you know, blowing up the country or something stupid like that, or sympathizing with the 9/11 terrorists, get a grip. Because that's not what she was doing. You know, there are people who want to do us harm. Okay? I'm not minimizing that, and I'm not being naive to that. But you've got to look at things that are said and then take them in context. And that's exactly what Tulsi Gabbard did brilliantly. But it's interesting that the media has so far sidestepped this video because it shows Tulsi Gabbard at her very best, and they do not want to tangle with Tulsi because they'll give Tulsi a platform that they don't want to give her. They want a corporatist, and if she catches fire, if this campaign, because I think I truly believe, I think they believe they can defeat Bernie somehow. I really believe that. And if they can't defeat Bernie, then they'll prop Trump up. Wow, he's really changed. He really gets these regime change wars that we're all in favor of. Good for Donald Trump. He's finally found his mojo. He's really acting like the president now. The narratives are already being written. A lot of these guys will still call him despicable, a bigot, so forth, but then they'll come back with, well, but do we want that or do we want this? You know what I mean? So we shall see. The big thing is, will Bernie fight? So far on the Julian Assange thing, not so much, Bernie. We'd love to hear your thoughts on Julian Assange. Tulsi Gabbard's already weighed in, and she did the right thing again, siding with Julian and looking at the media and their obsession with this guy as very hypocritical, as far as calling him all these things like a Russian bot. So, again, Tulsi Gabbard hitting it out of the park. Donald Trump should be afraid of this candidate if she were to get anywhere, but the media is doing their best to create a wall. Hate to use that word, but they are. And Tulsi, this video should be viral. It should be on all the major news stations. She's defended this person who supposedly was indefensible, according to most of the media, and that's not the case whatsoever. All right, done with this video. Be back soon with more content. See you then.